At hotspotting.com.au, we're always looking for snippets of information that give us clues to the next budding hotspots around Australia. We're looking for locations that blip across our radar screens because certain things that are happening in the local economy or in the local property market or in the area around them. So in this edition of the Ryder Report, the September edition, we feature a large number of items of information which focus on the general topic, the things that we look for. What are the things that we at Hotspotting seek out in our daily research to give us clues to the areas that are going to outperform in the future? So we have one of our features that I write focuses on 3 examples of events. One is something that Tesla, the battery people, Elon Musk's company is doing in South Australia, and why that's an example of the rise of the South Australian economy and why we're particularly interested in the Adelaide property market at the moment. Another is something that UE Insurance is doing in relation to establishing its national headquarters, rather surprisingly perhaps, on the Sunshine Coast in regional Queensland, and why that is symptomatic of major events that are giving us confidence about the future growth on the Sunshine Coast. We also talk about events in Ipswich City in the southwest of the Brisbane metropolitan area, where the military economy, because there's a RAF base, is very important to the economy and jobs creation, and therefore the property market in the Ipswich City area. Another feature that I write in this September edition of the Ryder Report looks at it from slightly different perspectives, the key markers in local property markets or the underlying economy that give us a reason to suggest that certain markets are going to rise. One of those is what's happening in the underlying state economy, which we think is pivotal for capital city markets. Another marker we look for is locations where demand is rising, and we monitor sales activity on a quarterly basis to see the areas where demand is rising but prices haven't yet reacted. Another marker we look for is markets where rents are up or vacancies are down and rental activity is rising, but prices haven't reacted yet. And the fourth one that I mentioned in this particular feature in the Ryder Report is cities where the top end market has shown strong growth, but the market generally has not. So the top end, the $1 million suburbs generally lead an upcycle, and there are a number of cities in Australia right now where that is happening, where the $1 million suburbs have had double-digit growth in their median prices in the last 12 months, but the market generally hasn't shown much growth. So that theme generally pervades the state-by-state sections of this edition of the Ryder Report as well, where we cover main events in the 8 states and territories, and there's a bit of a focus on some of the things that we're looking for in terms of, it might be population growth, it might be a major infrastructure project announced, those sorts of things that tend to have a major impact on property markets and lead us to believe that certain areas are going to outperform. So that and a whole lot more in this current September edition of the Ryder Report. Make sure you get it, and if you got it, make sure you read it. It's quite unlike any other report you're going to get anywhere in the Australian residential property market, and a whole lot better than anything you're going to read in mainstream media. That's it for now. Terry Ryder signing off. We'll talk to you again soon.